Hello everyone, it's me Clayton. I just finished watching Maboroshi, which was directed by Mari Okada and animated by Studio Mappa. Now, most people who know anime like Jujutsu Kaisen, Chainsaw Man, and Attack on Titan know Studio Mappa, and they know their excellence in production values and also the amount of shows and movies that they take in a given year. And most people also are aware of Mari Okada's talents as both a writer and director for Anohana, Makia When the Promised Flower Blooms, and O Maidens in Your Savage Season. So Maboroshi isn't exactly the best work of Mappa or Mari Okada, but it is a fun movie with an interesting premise for those who are willing to give it a chance. Now, that premise centers on Masamune, a kid who lives in this town that was basically put into an alternate reality when a sudden explosion happens at a steel mill. That explosion also causes these various dragons made of smoke to appear that seem to swallow up anyone who has unhappy thoughts and who attempts to have change within the town. So Masamune is forced to stay in town, not doing a whole lot, and not being able to leave said town to have a life outside of a town where nothing seems to change. That is, until he meets a girl named Mutsumi, who is taking care of this little girl named Itsumi inside of the steel mill, who resembles more of a wolf in her personality than an actual human, to the point where she can barely even speak normally for the most part. So as Masamune figures out more about Itsumi and more about the world that he's in and about how much of an alternate reality it is where nothing anyone do seems to matter, he finds out more about Mutsumi, finds that maybe she's the key to leaving this place, and maybe that there's more to this alternate reality than meets the eye. So, while Mari Okada works really well with the character emotional beats and for the relationships, like the relationship between Masamune and Mutsumi is great, and the relationship that both of them have with Itsumi is great, I do think that the plot has a few holes. Especially because there are certain characters who do have changes or who do think negative thoughts about things that ultimately don't get picked off by the smoke dragons. And it does feel like the movie does drag in a few places when there aren't either character deaths happening or when there aren't major plot points being revealed. Granted, the film's only about a little over 100 minutes long, but it still felt like a few of them could have been cut for a film that would have benefited more from that. Or they could have explained certain plot beats more, so some of them wouldn't feel, either under-explained or just felt like they came out of nowhere. On top of that, it does feel like this film, while it has strong visuals from Mappa, it doesn't exactly stand out from some of the other animated films of its type. Like the character designs and the town that the film is featured in don't exactly stand out from other major anime films from other directors. I remember thinking of Mari Okada's other animated films like Makia When the Promised Flower Blooms or A Whisker Away, where both in the visuals and in the characters' designs, they stood out a lot more from any other film of their types. So it feels a bit odd that this film feels so samey by comparison. But that doesn't mean that the visuals aren't good, because Studio Mappa knows how to make an action scene, a romantic moment, or even a dramatic world-shifting event look really good. They definitely managed to pull many moments like that off last year, and this is no different. So, while I don't think this is going to be an absolute must-watch film, if you're a Mappa fan or a Mari Okada fan, you should get something out of it. That's why I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10. See you next time.